I just took a shower. I'm feeling fresh. I'm drinking water out of a wine glass because I'm a bougie bitch. And I'm ready to film. We're here. It's Friday, which is pretty late in the week for me to film, but that's okay. Let's hope I can get this done by Sunday. So today, I thought we would take a slight left turn. This is very unusual for my typical kind of content, but I was feeling like I just wanted to connect with you guys and sit down and do my makeup and answer some questions that you guys asked me on Instagram. First answer being, yes, I am naked under this robe. Also, I can barely speak and do my makeup at the same time when I'm just having a conversation with someone, so please pray for me in the comments because reading questions off of my phone, coming up with hopefully well thought out answers while trying to do my eyebrows is going to be a challenge. So I hope you enjoy getting ready with me and chilling and getting to know me a little bit more. I encourage you to grab some water and a wine glass and maybe a snack and enjoy the video. Now, I didn't organize these questions ahead of time, so they might bounce around a bit. Just stick with me. I'm just gonna read them as they came, if that's cool. And this is slipping off my head. Ooh! First question is, what is your all-time favorite breakfast? I actually fucking love breakfast. Breakfast is my favorite meal of the day. I feel like if I could have the opportunity to eat breakfast food for literally every meal, I would. And my all-time favorite breakfast food is probably... It's probably either cereal or waffles. I fucking love waffles. I usually I try to make this at home too, but I usually, if I'm going out to a restaurant, my favorite, a diner or something, my favorite thing to order is a Belgian waffle with a side of 2 scrambled eggs and usually a sausage link. Links only, never patties. Also, yo, if this makeup turns out crazy, please just don't say anything because literally just trying to talk about waffles and do this eyebrow a second ago was I don't know how the beauty gurus do it. Okay, ooh, not too bad. I did have to stay silent there for a second, but oh my god. Next question is, and this one's a little bit deeper. We're not talking about breakfast anymore. This one is, what is a moment in your life that shaped who you are as a person? Honestly, I feel like a big moment in my life that really shaped how I would turn out as an adult was being bullied in high school. I was pretty severely bullied. I got called every name under the sun. People loved to talk about me and start rumors behind my back. My house got egged a lot. High school just fucking sucked for me. And even though it was a really, really negative thing at the time, I feel like that really shaped who I became as an adult because I feel like I'm able to see things from a lot of different perspectives, if that makes sense. Because I was being bullied and no one could really see things from my side, or no one took the time to think about how their actions might have made me feel, I feel like I'm able to have a lot of empathy and see how my actions might make other people feel. Sometimes it's a bad thing. Sometimes I overthink how much what I do and say is going to make other people feel so much that I am hypercritical of myself, or I am too censored, if that makes sense. Especially you should see my outtakes when I'm filming videos. I literally will something will come out of my mouth and then I have an anxiety attack wondering if what I just did or said is going to offend anyone, and I'm super censoring I'm trying to be better about that. I'm trying to like not edit so much and just like be myself and relax and like stop worrying about what other people are going to think about my videos. But it's hard. It's hard. You have to have a lot of self-confidence to get into this line of work. I hope that answered the question. This is hard. I will say though, these aren't too bad. They're definitely cousins. I wouldn't say they're sisters or twins, but cousins is close enough. Oh my god, this is just, should I just take this out? We're just gonna, I don't know what's going on. It's okay. I wanted to do like a cool like TikTok transition effect where like when I'm done with my makeup, I take that hair towel out and then like flip my head, and then when I like do the transition and come back up, my hair is like dry and my makeup is like done. But this isn't TikTok. So I got two questions that were like kind of along the same lines as each other, and they're both about Renee. So I'm gonna answer them in one swoop. The first one is, did you recognize how special Renee was the first day that y'all met? And then the second one was, how did you and your Aries meet? I love your guys' connection. So I'm just going to tell you this story. So basically, yes, to answer the first question, I definitely did recognize how special she was right away. If you know Renee, and I'm sure a lot of you don't, but if you do, Renee is just like such a warm person, like such a vibrant person. Like, I'm kind of into like energy and auras, and if you're not, just like hang tight with me here. But she just has such a warm energy. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, when you meet her, it's really hard not to smile. And I noticed that immediately. I could tell that she's just like, she takes up space and like isn't afraid of it. So let me tell you like how we met, and then you might be able to follow me a little bit more. Renee and I met on Tinder. Looking the way that I do, it's really hard to meet women in person, like organically, because a lot of people don't assume that I am gay. I get told a lot that I look very straight. Pretty much any time that I say that I'm engaged, people automatically say, oh, what's his name? I think I look very straight. So for me, and like coming out of the closet, Tinder was super helpful for me to like explore my sexuality more and actually meet women. And that's pretty much the only way that I ever met women. And I also lived in Chicago, so like I lived 2 blocks away from Boys Town, which if you've never been to Chicago and don't know what that is, it's basically like the gay district of Chicago. It's where all the gay bars are, gay restaurants, everyone's gay. There's literally like rainbows painted on the sidewalk. It's magical. It's a great place, and the nightlife there is insane. We matched on Tinder, and we actually met in person the same day that we matched, because I'm a bold ass bitch. You know how like when you're on Tinder and you're trying to think of like the perfect thing to say to not come across as creepy or weird? I don't have that gene, I guess, because the very first thing that I ever said to Renee on Tinder was, I'ma date the shit out of you. There's a first message. I messaged her first, and that's what I said. And like, sure, I mean, maybe some people would be like, it's too much too soon, bye, like unmatch. But Renee was down for it. She usually doesn't get hit on, I guess, first. Like, usually she's the one that has to do all the first moves. So she responded with like little sideways looking eyes. And I said something like, you're fine as hell. 'Cause she is. We just like started talking. I don't know who gave who the number first. I probably gave her my number first, but then we moved from Tinder to texting. And then I remember like around maybe 5:30 or 6, she asked me what I was doing that night. I was like, oh, I'm not doing anything. Like, what's up? And she was like, oh, a couple friends and I are going to Boys Town tonight. Do you want to meet up with us? And she had said, like, you can bring friends or whatever, but I didn't have any friends. So I was like, oh, for sure, yeah. I think my friends are busy, though. Like, is it cool if I come by myself? And she's like, yeah, whatever. So she tells me to, like, come meet her in Boys Town at, like, 11 o'clock. I was wearing a bomb-ass outfit. I was wearing this, like, black tank top that was haltered, tied, with some skinny jeans that made my booty look insane, and I had my makeup like beat. I looked so good, and like an oversized denim jacket. I just looked like really good. And I went to go meet her by myself in a bar, and this is the best part. So she gets to the bar, right? For any of my Chicago people, we went to DS Tequila. I'm like really fucking nervous, so I get a drink. Oopsies. I get a drink before she gets there, and I'm just waiting, and she was like late. Like, I think she didn't get there till like 11:30, and it turns out she was like taking shots in the car before she got in. So when she got to me, she was like pretty drunk. But she said that she was here. So I like get up from the stool that I was sitting at, or the booth or whatever, and I start walking towards the front entrance, hoping we'll like run into each other. And I'm standing there and I see her, but she didn't see me yet. And she like walks in and she goes literally like this. Like, if you're me, she's walking, like looking around, and she goes like this. And I was like, I knew I looked good, right? And I knew that in her head she was like, damn. And that was like it. She smiled, we like gave each other a hug, and then we walked towards like the back of the bar, and she asks me, like, I think the very first thing, like, we hadn't even had a conversation yet, and the first thing that she asks me is, what's your zodiac sign? And I was like, I'm a Sagittarius. And she goes, I think we're soulmates. And within 15 minutes, we like had already kissed. We were like so obsessed with each other, and we were dancing. We stayed there all night. It was like maybe 1:30 or 2 when we finally were gonna leave, and like she ended up staying the night at my house, and the rest was history. She stayed at my place all the way through the next day until 6 p.m. We like went and got breakfast together, and then came back to my place and like took a nap. I remember we took a nap for like 3 hours or something, and we were just hooked. That was December 16th of 2017, and we have been literally inseparable since. Like, we started dating on January 3rd of 2018, so literally like 2 weeks later we were official. And that's a whole nother thing. Like, I could really get into our full relationship, but like that's how we met, and it's been like magic ever since. And we are getting married October 3rd of this year. So I don't know, man, dreams really do come true. Look at my eyes are watering. I just love her. She's great. I think that for anyone that has ever gotten the chance to meet Renee, they know that she's just like, there's no one on this earth like Renee. Oh, I guess this one kind of feeds right into it. This person said, tips for dating and confidence in your body while doing so. The thing is, my relationship was like so safe, or it is. My relationship is so safe and understanding and warm. Even when I was really going through it with my confidence and like feeling like I was unattractive because I had gained weight, and like losing my sex drive because I had gained weight and I just thought that I was unattractive now, Renee was never like part of the reason why I felt that way. And if anything, she's a big reason why I was able to dig myself out of those thoughts, because like she's been attracted to me since day one, and that isn't going to change. And she was really good about like reminding me and keeping it in my mind that like nothing, she doesn't love me just for like a hot body, and she thinks that my body is hot no matter what because it's me. You know what I'm saying? Like my weight gain never once affected her sexual attraction to me, and I think that's why it was so easy for me to remain confident while dating. So I think if you are someone that's struggling with keeping your confidence while you're dating, I think you're dating the wrong person. Like, I think you should break up with them because you shouldn't feel that way. Even if it's just you internally and like trying to rock your body and build yourself back up. If the person you're dating isn't also like your biggest fan and trying to hype you up, then they're not the right person to be dating. These lashes are so crusty. I've literally had them for like 2 months and I just keep re-wearing them, but I think it's about that time. I think it's about that time to get a new pair. What do you think? I'm gonna stop right there, and then I'll be back when I have the other eyelash on, so that way I can get back to the questions. Let's see what the next question is. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Someone said how to get over a breakup with a sad crying face, and that's just really sad. How to get over an entanglement or a breakup. Basically, I don't even know how to answer this, because when I was trying to get over these entanglements, I did not do it healthily. So I know how you probably should, but I don't know it from experience, so I kind of feel like I'm just talking out of my booty hole if I try to tell you how to get over a breakup. But I think my advice for anyone that is currently in a relationship or is about to start pursuing a relationship, I feel like my biggest advice on how, not that like, I'm not saying like it's gonna end, but a lot of times they do, because that just comes with the territory of dating, right? Like, you're trying to find the person that is the best fit for you, and obviously like everyone on the planet is not going to be the best fit for you. So you're probably going to go through a lot of breakups and entanglements ending because like that's just the cards, you know, like it wasn't the right hand. So I feel like when you're like pursuing dating, or like, you know, in your head that you're ready to start dating, you need to make sure that you're not dating the other person to like fulfill you in some way. You need to be full yourself before you get into it with someone else. Because if you're not full with yourself and you're not like satisfied with who you are, or like you don't fully know who you are, it's really easy to make someone else become part of who you are. Like, oh my God, I'm so bad at explaining things. I hope this makes sense. But like, it's easy to have the other person become so ingrained in how you value yourself, what you think about yourself, have their opinion kind of overshadow your own opinion of yourself, that when you do have a breakup, it almost feels like a part of you is missing now. And that's not the case. I understand that like when people leave and when breakups happen, it's really hard, because a lot of times, especially when they're long term, it starts to feel like your two lives truly are one and like a piece of you is missing. But I guess what I'm trying to say, this is like not helpful. This is terrible advice. And it kind of makes it seem like I'm not empathizing with you, but I do. I know that it's hard. Breakups are really hard and painful. But I think what I'm trying to say is you were a whole person first before the relationship, and you're still a whole person after. You're not missing a piece of yourself. You're still a whole, capable, strong person that still exists after the relationship has ended. I think it's important to properly mourn the loss as well, because a lot of times people will be like, oh, well, I'm sad from this breakup, I have to distract myself now. But that's just only going to prolong the amount of time that it takes you to fully register and process and have closure for yourself before you start like getting back into hobbies and dating and whatever. The biggest advice I can give you is don't download Tinder right away. Don't do it. That was me. I swear to God, people would like end things with me. Like I would be the one that gets broken up with. And then 2 minutes later, I'm like on Tinder pretending like nothing happened and like I'm not literally crying in my bedroom. So don't do that. Don't be a me. Ooh, I love this question. Someone said, if you could be as happy and body positive as you are right now, but in your old body, would you? That is such a dope question. I don't think that would have been possible. This might seem like a cop-out answer, but this is how I feel. When I was skinny, I didn't even know that body positive was a term, and I don't think I ever would have truly felt body positive unless I had gained weight. I wouldn't have ever unlearned what I had so deeply ingrained about like appearance equaling worth. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took me gaining weight and learning how to love myself no matter what my body looked like. And I'm not saying that I gained weight and like look bad and had to like learn to love that. No, I look banging. But in my head, skinny equaled pretty always, no matter what the circumstance was. Like I was confident and body positive only because I was skinny and because to me that equals pretty. I wouldn't have unlearned that without gaining weight. So like this journey that I've been on of like learning self-love and body confidence could only have happened because I gained weight, and I'm so glad and grateful for it. And I don't know if I would want to go back, at least not intentionally. And let me explain. I just moved to Arizona. My mental health in the 2 weeks that I've been here has gone up so much because of the constant sunshine, and my schedule has changed. So I'm getting more sleep. I feel like I have more control over what I want to do in the day, and I'm doing things that are like really fulfilling. I feel really energized and excited to film all the time. Like I'm literally getting ideas for new videos every day. I wasn't experiencing this before my move. And because my mental health is like on such an upswing right now, I have a feeling, or I guess I like wouldn't be surprised if I did gradually start losing weight. But it's not intentional. And health-wise, I'm not doing anything different now than I was doing when I lived in Chicago. If I eventually looked like my old body, but I achieved it like kind of on accident just because of like a mental health upgrade, then fine. Like that's cool. But that's not the goal for me. And it's not intentional or something that I'm seeking right now. I would never choose to go back to my old body the way that I got that body in the first place, because it was so unhealthy and mentally debilitating, and I'm still trying to recover hormonally from the damage that I did through that restriction and binge cycle that I had when I had that old body. So I guess long answer short, no, unless it was achieved by just maintaining the healthy lifestyle that I'm already living day to day. So these kind of go together too. My best friend asked me, what's your dream place to live, or are you already there? And then someone said, why did you move to AZ? I'm born and raised here and I love it, but the summers can be brutal. I think that I wouldn't say that Arizona is my all-time dream place to live. My all-time dream place is actually San Diego. I think San Diego is like the best place to live because the weather is so consistent. Like, it's literally like, well, I don't live there, so if you live in San Diego, you can correct me, but it's literally like 75 degrees there all year long. Maybe a little hotter in the summers, but like it's literally 75 the whole year, and that just sounds amazing. Like 75 is the best, and you get the beach and everything. Like, that just sounds like an amazing place to live. But the reason why I moved to Arizona instead of there is because I can't afford to live in San Diego or anywhere in California for that matter. I work at Starbucks, so yeah, that wouldn't go well for me. I chose Arizona because I used to live in Las Vegas, and I know that I really like the desert climate. I really like the heat and the dry heat and like the constant sunshine, and I love cactuses. That aesthetic is like my favorite. But I hated living in Vegas because of like the culture, or I guess the lack of culture, because there's literally nothing in Vegas but like drugs. So when I knew that I wanted to move again, I was thinking about places that I could move that were like a similar deserty climate but didn't have like the same atmosphere as Vegas, and Arizona was just like one of those picks. And I fucking love it. I love it. I love the heat. Everyone, like, when I moved here, people that were born and raised here were like, oh, why would you choose here? Like 120 degrees, that's awful. Like, you really like the heat? I love the heat. I will literally go lay outside by the pool in heat like this and not feel any type of way about it. Someone said, are you happy? Okay, we're taking another turn here. Someone asked me, are you happy? And I also love that question. And the answer is fucking yeah. If you're someone that notices that you get really sad or unmotivated or down in the dumps when it rains or in the winter time, and you feel like that like cloudy, heavy feeling doesn't go away until spring or summer, I highly recommend moving. There seems to come a point in people's adult lives where it's time to prioritize yourself, including your mental health. Living in Chicago was amazing, but just so bad for my mental health because of the weather. And like, why would you want to keep putting yourself through that year after year after year, just like suffering in this cycle of depression and happiness and depression and happiness, and like only having motivation during one season? Like, that was what I was experiencing, and that's how I knew that even though I love Chicago and I love the culture and the city and like the people and everything, that's why I knew that I had to get out, because I like even in the summertime it rains so much that I just found myself like going through bouts of like, sometimes I'll be really active and want to be outside, and I'll be really motivated to like get stuff done towards my future and my business, and then it would like rain for a week straight, and I end up just sitting on the couch like sad and not talking to anyone. And obviously, like, maybe that's something I could have worked out in therapy. We won't talk about that, but enough was enough. And at the beginning of my relationship, like, I've known I wanted to move to Arizona for like 2 years. And at the beginning of Renee and I's relationship, I remember saying, like, this is getting pretty serious. I know that I want to move to Arizona eventually. And like, you might call it an ultimatum, but I was just being realistic. And I said, you can come with me. Like, if this stays as serious as it is, either you can come with me or this probably isn't going to work out. Because I knew it's what I needed to do for myself, and I wasn't going to let a new relationship get in the way of my mental health, you know? So then she said she was down. We made the plan to move after she graduated grad school, and here we are. And my mental health has just been like boop, 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 boop. Like the fucking emoji of the graph that's like on the upward scale. Why did I say that whole story? Someone asked me if I'm happy. That was a long ass answer to just say yes. And because my camera's dying, I'm only gonna answer one more, and my makeup's done. So Renee actually asked me, what's your idea of growth? And I love this question. Oh, you know what? It's not done. I can do my freckles. Ooh! Okay, side note. I already have freckles. Like, I don't know if you can see them on my nose. I already have freckles. But I like to make sure that they don't get lost when I put on my concealer because I really like them. Sorry, I just hiccuped. So I just put them back with eyeshadow. And I'll just do that now while I answer this last question. Did I say the question? She said, what's your idea of growth? I think that my idea of growth is pretty much like it's whatever you want it to be. And that sounds so stupid, but growth can look really different for a lot of people. I don't think it's something that has like one definition. Like for me, when I was in the pit of my depression, like every single day was really hard. So like I would consider growth for me was when I went from being super depressed and not showering for a week straight to being able to prioritize my hygiene and brush my teeth and shower every day. That was growth, like short-term growth. But then there's like long-term growth that I would consider like growth in your emotional reactions or like reactions to triggers, if that makes sense. Like, I am someone who has experienced cheating a lot in my life, not from me doing it, but like people, I've seen a lot of instances of cheating, and I've been cheated on a lot. So for me, when I went into my relationship with Renee, I had like stupid trust issues, like really bad trust issues. And we would get into a lot of fights over like my insecurities, basically. And I would do like shady things. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I used to like go through her phone, and like, even though there was at one point where I had like valid reason to not trust her, I used to do like toxic things because I couldn't handle my triggers. I didn't know how to like speak like an adult and explain how I was feeling. I would just lash out with anger or like bouts of depression or doing shady things like going through her phone or like questioning what she was doing. So now like long-term growth for me looks like, even though the triggers are still happening for me sometimes, instead of reacting with anger or like sadness without warning or like going through her belongings, I'm able to literally say, hey, I'm feeling a little anxious because that just triggered me. I trust you. I know that like this is just a trigger that's being brought up from my past, but I just wanted to mention it because I am feeling anxious right now. That's fucking growth, bitch. That right there is like, that's growth. I don't know how else to say it. And I'm way more proud of like that person than I am of the first one that I just described. And now we put on some lip gloss because we know that we are bad bitches and we're ready for the day, and we are beautiful and we are strong. And that's what clear lip gloss means. Clear lip gloss means you're a bad bitch, and you can't tell me otherwise. I know that this was not informative at all and you learned almost nothing, but that is my makeup, all complete. Very simple, very dewy, very not professional. Here, let me get in this good light. You see that? Thank you guys so much for watching this video and bearing with me while I literally just rambled for over an hour on a makeup routine that, on a makeup routine that should have taken me like 20 minutes. I really appreciate you guys coming back every single week to watch me, and also understanding that like I don't want this whole channel to be just health and fitness related. Like, I'm really interested in making videos that have absolutely nothing to do with health and fitness and show my personality a little bit more. So I was really excited to do this video and get a chance to like talk about myself. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you like and subscribe and comment and all that, whatever. And I'll see you again next week. Bye!